Hello good people and welcome back. Now, as Bobby Fischer approached his peak, one thing was evident. He was simply an unstoppable force. His ideas far surpassed that of his peers, and his opponents simply could not find the proper defense when he got started. Lucky for us, Bobby's games were pre-Stockfish level, and hence we can pick them apart to further our understanding of chess without having that SuperGM repertoire that kids have these days. Why don't we boost that ELO? Let's get it!
Round 1. Fight!
So this game took place in Zagreb and in Belgrade, I think former Yugoslavia. This was the candidates. This was round 10. It's Bobby Fischer against Palbenko. Oh, before I begin, before I forget, if you do find this content helpful, somewhat tolerable, and it's helping you in your chess journey, and you kind of like it, please leave a like and sub. You have my gratitude. Let's get started. Bobby starts with e4 best by test. We have c5 to Sicilian defense, knight to f3, knight to c6. We have d4, attacking the middle. C takes d, knight takes d, knight to f6, knight to c3, defending. We have d6, the classical variation of the Sicilian defense. And here, bishop to c4. This is actually the Sozin attack, popularized, I can speak English, by none other than Bobby Fischer himself. Queen to b6, attacking what to do. Knight to e2. Connecting the knights, maybe ideas of knight to g3 in the future, and here e6 by the opponent, offering, or rather preparing to develop, and also applying tension in the middle there. Castle king, bishop to e6. Now we have bishop to b3, just covering the b2 square, while maintaining the pressure on the light square diagonal all the way down to f7. Castle king, and then the sidestep, so then f4 can be pushed. This is a typical theme in these kind of positions. We have knight to a5, trying to get rid of that valuable, pretty good, and pretty active bishop there. And here Fischer starts with bishop to g5. Preparing to connect the rooks and maybe push on f4. Queen to c5, asking this bishop, where do you want to go? The bishop says, I'll stay here. f4 instead. And now we have b5, a logical move to prepare bishop to b7, also booting that out. Is this defended? Who knows? We don't. Knight to g3. Now, as you can see, the knight was placed here and not here, and it's reaping the benefits of a better square. You're looking at f5, you're looking at g5, and who knows, maybe, just maybe, there is some activity that can be gathered at e4. b4 was played instead of the kind of more developing and less space-grabbing bishop 2. b4. And then Bobby strikes the middle. You're going to attack my knight. I hit the middle. But this is just more than vis-a-vis, as in like your knight, my knight. The idea here, if looked correctly, is the opening of e4. So that if d takes on e, Bobby asks the opponent, I'm taking your bishop, or rather I'm taking your knight. As you can see, that knight was occupying the square, and now none of the pieces are occupying that square. And hence, Palbenko decided to take with this to ruin his structure, but with the idea of maybe having more squares in the middle, instead of just simply taking here, and hence after knight to c4, knight to e4, which is being attacked, queen 2. This is attacked twice. Bishop moves, and now this is a pretty even position with an easier playability for white. This is open. That's attacked f6 multiple times. Queen can go up to here. The bishop still hangs in the balance, and all black need to do is sidestep and get ready to batten down the hatches because the queen's getting here. Instead, the opponent decided to take here. And you know when I said that the opponents can't fathom, or rather, they just crumble under Fischer's attack? the idea of a push here is manifold. This bishop is still underdeveloped, and now there's two knights. It can hop around. So knight c to e4. And one of the rules in chess is that if there is a weakness in your king side, and there's a queen somewhere, and knights, you are in danger of getting checkmated. So I think Palbenko realized that, so he wants to trade queens. And unfortunately, because he punched a hole in his position and allowed e4, the better move was simply queen to c7, which is actually a stronger move. Queen to h5, takes, threatening this, and white can play something crazy like this. So if you take, check, and now there is nothing that can defend h7, your king is completely busted. But if you played that move and after, say, rook to f3, you don't take, instead you trade queens and kind of force the issue. This, of course, is checkmate. You go into this complicated middle game where you have to defend as black, and white is still advantageous. Unfortunately, the opponent did not find that and played the blunderous queen to d4, which means Fischer is free to harass the king side with queen to h5. And like I said, even though the pawns look like they're capturing the middle here, Fischer understands the dynamics that these pawns are actually restricting a lot of the bishops, and this hole right here is just completely busted. So after knight takes on b3, Fischer ignores it and plays this. Why is that? Because the next move, knight 2, h5 is threatening mate, and you have a lot to contend with. This is also very weak. So if there was no bishop here, a knight check means mate. So the opponent kind of realizes, hey, I can't just munch on that, because like I said, if you took here, it's mate in 2. You move, just like that, you get checkmated. So he takes on f4, knight to h5, threatening mate, f5. It looks like you can stop this, but you can't, because first queen hits. Now you ask the queen, where does the queen want to go? Queen to e5. Then we have two controllers of the f6 square and a powerful outpost that leads to checkmate. So bishop takes, queen takes, boom. And Fischer has achieved what he wanted. You defend inadequately, you lose a whole whopping queen. Knight to c5, check. The idea, of course, is attacking both. And after that move, takes and takes, the game is over. Yeah, so something to pick up from that is, well, don't ruin your king side. And 2, piece activity, piece activity, piece activity, which Fischer understood. He understood the assignment very well. It is not an insane amount of prep that you can see from Fischer there. It's just practical move sets and understanding what's necessary in the nature of the position. Hope you got something out of that, guys. More Bobby Fischer, more Hikaru, more Magnus, and more Garry Kasparov in the future. I'll see you guys later.